Good morning, beloveds. Um, I'm having a difficult morning. Well, I really shouldn't say that. Uh, I didn't feel good, uh, tummy wise, and so getting to the park took a little more time than I would like. And then I'm gonna go with the theory the only bad run is the run you didn't do because the run wasn't a lot of fun. At least for the first mile. And then I think my stomach kind of settled down. It was like, oh, she's going to do this. And then apparently my GPS freaked out on me. And so I ran 2.8, probably about 2.8 miles. And it said that I ran 2.4, which means, and I normally run 3 because, but the second time through, I just couldn't do the maintenance loop. So, of course, my Fitbit screwed up my pace because I'm running about a 14.4, and it said I did 14.4 for the first mile, and then the second mile it said that I did 22.2 because it cut off almost a half of a mile. But it is what it is. And then we decided to try peanuts with the squirrels, and they fly better, so we can throw them a little further, so the squirrels don't have to get right up on us. Although some of them are definitely bold enough to do that. And then we found the blue jays. And the blue jays will straight up steal the peanuts right out of the squirrel's mouth. So we had a good time taking pictures of the blue jays. And so hopefully I got a couple of... because Tom would throw them so that the blue jays could see him. So hopefully I got one or two decent pictures of the blue jays. They were too fast swooping down on the ground for the peanuts. So I didn't get any of those. So I won't get any good blue, the backs of them. But it is, And there were a couple other people out there feeding squirrels too, so the squirrels were going to be fat and happy today. We worry about them because they normally do soccer tournaments in that park, and there haven't been any since, but all right. It is June 13th. It is Saturday, hence me being 12 minutes late. And our title is I Recognize My Identity with Spirit. My knowledge that the great I am is ever available gives me an increasing capacity to draw upon it and become inwardly aware of the presence of Spirit. Through the quiet contemplation of the omni-action of Spirit, I learn to look quietly and calmly upon every false condition, seeing through it to the other side of the invisible reality that molds, conditions, and recreates all my affairs after a more nearly divine pattern. With a penetrating spiritual vision, I can dissipate the obstruction, remove the obstacle, dissolve the wrong condition. Standing still, I can watch the sure salvation of the law. I now claim health instead of sickness, wealth instead of poverty, happiness instead of misery. In such degree as I gain mastery over the sense of negation, whether it be pain or poverty, I am proving the law of good. Every thought of fear or limitation is removed from my consciousness. I know that my word transmutes every energy into constructive action, producing health, harmony, happiness, and success. I know that there is something at the center of my being that is absolutely certain of itself. It is complete. It has complete assurance, and it gives me complete assurance that all is well. I maintain my position as a divine being here and now. That was a mouthful. Okay. Let's see. Well, okay, so he starts off with my knowledge that the great I am is ever available gives me an increasing capacity to draw on it. So he's been talking a lot about consciousness. The more conscious you are of the great I am, the more you know about the great I am. And how do you learn about the great I am? There's a bunch of ways. Reading books is one. And then listening to good speakers talk about it. But the best way to learn about the I am is to go within and experience the I am. That's what spiritual practice is. That's what meditation is. Prayer is talking to God, and meditation is listening to God. So the more knowledge I have gives me an increasing capacity to draw on it. So the more aware you are, the more aware of the spirit that you are, the more that you, the more interaction. Jesse said it's like dating. The more you get to know spirit, the more you are willing to draw on it. And the more interactions you have with it in good times, the easier it is for you to trust it, to go to it when things aren't so great. And become inwardly aware of the presence of spirit. Okay. Through the quiet contemplation of the, see, I said meditation. Through the quiet contemplation of the omni-action of spirit, I learned to look quietly and calmly upon every false condition, seeing through it to the other side of the invisible reality that molds conditions and recreates all of my affairs after a more nearly divine pattern. He does not believe in periods today. All right. So through quiet contemplation, I learned to look quietly and calmly. So in other words, when we are in a situation that we would not prefer, if we can go to that place within us where we can be calm, which is hard to do in the midst of the chaos, but when we can calm ourselves, then we can draw upon that divine pattern more easily. Don't get me wrong. There are times when you are in the midst of it and you speak your word and it is done. You don't have to always be quiet and calm. But I like how he says, recreates all of my affairs after a more nearly divine pattern. A more nearly divine pattern. So it doesn't have to be perfect to be good. With a penetrating spiritual vision, I can dissipate the obstruction, remove the obstacle, dissolve the wrong condition. Okay, so with a penetrating spiritual vision. Wow, that's hardball metaphysics right there. It's like I can see through the nonsense. And if I can see through the nonsense, the obstruction goes away, the obstacle goes away, the wrong condition goes away. Because I can see what I want. Standing still, I can watch the sure salvation of the law. That's kind of an odd phrase. I haven't encountered that one yet. So, put that in the back of my mind to contemplate today. Standing still, I can watch the sure salvation of the law. Maybe he's talking about when I focus and concentrate and am working on the divine pattern, then I can see law in action. Something to think about. Definitely something to think about. Okay, so here's our power statement. I now claim health instead of sickness, wealth instead of poverty, happiness instead of misery. Okay, sorry. It's the denial, it's the I'm claiming this, not that. This, not that. So that's the denial and claim. In such degree as I gain mastery over the sense of negation, whether it be pain or poverty, I am proving the law of good. So he is a student of Emma. He believed in the denials. Ernest did. We don't use them so much, but Emma would say, when people were telling her their stories, she would sit there and silently look at them and say, you are not that, you are not that. So it's like whatever the words you put after the I am, be careful. You know, so don't say I am not a runner. Say I am a runner. It doesn't matter how fast you are. If you run, you run. It's the way it is. Or, well, that's me. Every thought of fear and or limitation is removed from my consciousness. I know that my word transmutes every energy into constructive action. So my word transmutes every energy. So if the energy is not so good, speak your word, and your word will transmute that energy, and it will produce health, harmony, happiness, and success. Speak your word. I know that there is something at the center of my being that is absolutely certain of itself. So even when you are not completely certain of yourself, even when I am not completely certain of myself, there is something at the center of me that is. So there is something at the center of you, in that place that you meet God, in that temple of your Most High, where your spiritual divine inheritance is, at the center of your being. It is absolutely certain of itself. It has complete assurance, and it gives me complete assurance that all is well. I maintain my position as a divine being here and now. So there's your power statement today. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to maintain, accept your position as a divine being here and now. All right, I have got to go eat something and go to class. So, oh yeah, I'm running, well, no, I started late, so, and this poor baby is apparently going to be in my face all day, and that's a good thing. So, it is fantastic out there right now. The sun is absolutely beautiful. The sky is completely cloudless, and it's not too hot yet. So I would encourage you to open your windows, get some fresh air, go get some movement, take a walk, take a run, go skipping, whatever. Get some movement in. Put on your favorite song and dance. But do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. I say it every day, I mean it every day. I would like you to do it every day. That can be part of your spiritual practice, which doing spiritual practice is loving, kind, and compassionate for yourself. All right, beloveds, do what you need to do to make today a fantastic day. I will be back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Reverend David will be on sometime after 5. I caught him at 9:30 last night, so, you know, that's David. And the live stream will be right here at 11 o'clock tomorrow. I have no idea what the music looks like. We're pretty sure Brian and Jeffrey are going to be there. Beyond that, we don't know. So, y'all have a fantastic day. Bye, beloveds.